you first heard that Lakeview was partnering with Clean the World, what was your initial reaction to that?
I was really impressed that they would go to the point of what in the hotel previous to this was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just waste being thrown away when it was so useful to somebody that had nothing.
What was it about it that really inspired you to submit that 200-word essay?
When I first heard about it and seen the memo, I thought that is a great opportunity for somebody that is participating in the project to actually go and see where it goes when it leaves our hotel. To have the chance to see the reaction that you get when you give it to the people who need it.
What was the best part of your trip to Guatemala?
The children. To see how excited they were to be passed a bar of soap. And the excitement on their faces just to know that people out there care that do not know them. That cake of soap would be like giving a child who wants for nothing a brand new computer. You're comparing apples and oranges, but at the same time, it's the appreciation that goes with it, and they don't seem to take it for granted.
I know when I was looking through some of the images and seeing the joy on your face as well as the joy on the children's face, it's obvious that there was an impact felt by both the giver and the receiver.
I was and it wasn't just a group of thank yous, it was an individual thank you from every one of them when you passed them something. And they knew it was theirs. They didn't have to give it to somebody else. It was theirs to use. And it was just, I was really overwhelmed when we went to the state orphanage and when we walked in, and they just run to us and just reached out for hugs. Didn't matter what we had for them, that affection. And then when they got the soap, that was even more. The smiles on their faces was just unexplainable to see the joy in their face.
You mentioned the state orphanage. What were some other areas that you visited while you were in Guatemala?
We went to an area that's known as the ghetto. When we did travel there, we did have a guard with us because it's not a really safe place for people to be. And when we walked through like an alley and we went through a door, and once we get through that door, we were in the area known as the ghetto. And a lot of families are there. It's young children live there with their families, or they have no family, and that's why they're there being taken care of. They're not really part of the state orphanage.
Can you describe the living conditions, some of what you saw while you were in Guatemala?
It was just like huts with metal walls up and really no windows in their homes. It's just like bars and old torn sheets or blankets hanging in the door for a door. And the living conditions is just gravel floor, just a wall put up on the ground, bare ground, and it's just blankets on the floor or raised up a little bit, maybe with a plank or something, like nothing, definitely not fancy. One room, however many people are in your family, they're in that one room. It was just amazing to see that they survive and live in this day by day and don't think of anything outside of that because they've never been outside to realize what anything else could be to them.
It must be very eye-opening. We see a lot of those images on TV. We see those images in the media. But to actually be there in that environment, I guess, how would that compare? I'm just imagining what that must have been like.
When you see them and you think, they don't even have a sink to turn a tap to get water. They're outside turning on an outside tap to get water that the whole community shares. And here we are, we just go to our sink and turn on the tap. They don't have that. And it's like you take for granted that you can do that every day, whereas they have no idea what that is to even have the opportunity to live with a roof over their head and a door closing them off from the world, to have privacy and to lay down at night and knowing that you're in clean bedding and the comfort of a pillow even, to know that they live that way and that is their life.
The one thing that really struck me when I was looking through some of the images as well was the smiles on the faces. There was a picture of people playing soccer. Mm-hmm. In spite of this incredible poverty, that it seemed like in some respects there's still a sense of joy or appreciation. Is that true, or was that just me seeing those pictures and perhaps making that assumption?
No, it's true. It's true. The pictures that you've seen of the soccer playing, actually, those were in the ghetto. When you go inside, you go down side hill, this crooked cement step, and you can walk down through this rickety path to get to the very bottom, and that's where they have this court closed in, and that's where the kids play this soccer game. Their game is a soccer ball playing back and forth, and it was great because every one of us that were with Clean the World, I thought the children would say, I want to play with them. They didn't. They wanted to play against them. this is our place, this is how we play, let's show them how to play.
So, Lois, there are still some hotel companies and some hotel chains that are not participating in Clean the World or another similar type project. What would you say to them, or what would your message be to try and convince them to participate as well?
I think they really need to hear from someone who's been there to see it, to know what a difference it can make. It's not just about taking a trip and going somewhere nice. It's a pleasure trip, but it's not a pleasure trip. You're there to do a job. They need to see the pictures. They need to hear the stories to know what good and benefit they would do by participating and joining this program.
Just from what I'm hearing in your voice, it's also the fact that you know you're helping. The people within the Lakeview family know that they're helping others. Do you think that that's a big benefit as well?
Definitely. They need to know how much help it is that they're giving.
But my last question is, so how does the partnership with Clean the World make you feel about working for Lakeview Inn & Suites Fredericton and Lakeview Hospitality?
Unless they drag me out the door and tell me I'm done, I'm not going anywhere. It's a great place to work. It's a big family, and it's a big family giving to millions of other families.
Thank you, Lois. Was there anything else that you wanted to say quickly before we wrapped up?
No, we've covered it all. It was just a very, very amazing trip, and it's one that everybody should have the chance to do.